All right, folks, we are here, the topic of the week, Disney Around the Horn. Bob, this was kind of your little bit of your idea. So explain to the people exactly what we're doing tonight.
Oh, I can't take full credit for this. This was clearly Andrew's idea. But to give you a little bit of an idea of what we went through, earlier this week we had put a poll up about maybe doing a dining restaurant, and for some reason you people are really into T-Rex Cafe. And it with Thanksgiving and everything, it got to be Saturday afternoon at about 6 o'clock. Shots were fired, sparks flew, emotions ran high. We came off of that. We were going to do the top 10 Disney dogs. That didn't obviously pan out either, because here we are not talking about the Disney dogs. Then we were going to do Lost Attractions again, which we were going to do a little bit of the old Future World stuff from Epcot. And that actually, blood was shed over that. Specifically Universe of Energy, which I think we'll get into at some point down the road. But luckily, the Pokeball saved us from any real anger. So ultimately, here we are. This is kind of something we've kicked around a little bit, Drew, I think, from the beginning as like a mystery box type episode.
Oh, yeah.
But just kind of bullet points. There's really no prep work in this episode. It's kind of just thoughts about Disney. I know sometimes people do reach out to us and say maybe we're a tad over scripted, I think, occasionally, in terms of what we're talking about when we're talking about things. So this is kind of a different take on our show. We hope you enjoy it. Again, it does come a lot from Around the Horn on ESPN, all those kind of talking head shows with multiple opinions. So I think it should be fun. I think we have a lot of cool topics to talk about, and I'm personally looking forward to Buy or Sell, which actually might be from Pardon the Interruption on ESPN, but since Disney owns ESPN, we'll just borrow all of their franchises.
Absolutely there. Yeah, so we have roughly 25 little mini topics here. We may not get to them all. Really depends on how things go and how the flow goes. And what we're going to do is I have a random number generator, and I'm just going to spin the wheel, essentially. The wheel of fun, let's call it, and see what number we land on. So the first one here we're going to get is number 16, which if I scroll on down to, Bob, tell us about these little guys that everyone's going to want to get their hands on.
So I'm excited. I've been negotiating with Meg all day, all night, to grab one of these spider bots off of eBay. They're very expensive on eBay. They're over $110 or so right now, the selling price. But they were available to annual pass holders, I believe, today out in California Adventure, Buena Vista Street. And they will be available to the general public, I think, later this week or the week after this weekend. Yeah. But, Tim, they're awesome. Have you seen? They're awesome. What a scam. What a scam.
I think like Friday or something.
What a complete scam.
So I did ask, I don't know a lot about these things. How much do they go for, and what exactly are they doing?
So I'm not sure the price of Tim is. Like I said, on the secondary market, they're over $125 pretty much, but...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. $80-$90.
They're awesome. They're super cool. They come with a little remote control. They're almost like a grounded drone, pretty much, and remote control spider. They're awesome. Check them out. I'm trying to get one. If I get one, I'll let you, the Ohana, know.
Do a little video for us.
Now, in a bigger way, is anyone surprised that before this land even opens, that they're basically selling their big blockbuster? You have to visit.
No, I'm not.
Disneyland,
I'm not
California
surprised, right? Because
who
knows when the park is going to be open? We would already have Avengers Campus in California if the parks were open, and if the situation, as Jordana put it, if the world wasn't a mess, we would certainly be in a better position to sell these. So I like it. I'm all for it. And the day after Thanksgiving, weekend of Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, brilliant way to do it. Marketing 101. One thing we know about Disney, if they're not making money, they wouldn't do it. And Drew, they're making money.
I 100% agree with that. I mean, obviously, they thought Avenger Campus would be open. They're sitting on some warehouse shelf. Why not? Disney needs money. Let's be honest. Why not sell these things now? They're like hotcakes. And then when the park opens, they're still going to sell like crazy. So who cares? It's a win-win, And from a consumer point of view, it's a win. So Spider-Bots, Next number here we're moving on to is number 5. Number 5. Well, just this week, Walt Disney World filed a permit for Tom Sawyer's Island. I'd love to see Jordana's take on this. I have a feeling, unfortunately, it's just going to be due to minor reservations. But Jordana, is there any hope here that something else comes out of this?
I have to say, I think something's coming from it because I think they're going to do a whole Tiana takeover. I think something's going to happen.
Bayou.
They're completely reimagining Frontierland, and I don't think it's going to last over there. I don't think that it's just going to be updated to the same amount of it was. I think they are going to throw some sort of theming in there, but I'm not sure what it is. I think they're just it's just due for a little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Sawyer's Island is definitely something. We talked about it, Bub? A while back. I don't remember what even episode or why.
It was about a year ago because we did the adventure. We did Frontierland with Andrew.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we went through it pretty in depth. It's very cool. It's very unique. I think what Tom Sawyer's Island does, it scares a lot of people off because you kind of have to wait for the raft to get over there, and it's not just something you can walk to at your own leisure and walk out of. You kind of have to wait for that. Jordan, that's a great idea. The Tiana takeover expands into that.
Trademark.
I mean, I think that will put some life back into that place. But Tom Sawyer's Island today is a great place to kind of get away from it and kind of get a little bit of quiet time. I guess.
I think you see it with the riverboats as well. The riverboats are already themed. I mean, you could almost just take it over. I mean, I don't know what that does for Thunder Mountain at that point, but in terms of Splash Mountain and the riverboat and Tom Sawyer Island, certainly feasible that they would do a quasi New Orleans Bayou theme kind of running through the whole thing.
I mean, honestly, at this point, other than Thunder Mountain being next door to it, it thematically doesn't fit with the Splash Mountain or Tom Sawyer Island. It's
I know they're already hired the
desert,
construction company.
I mean,
they're ready to go.
I think Jordan.
All right, that's number 5. Let's move on to number 1.
The most general permit ever. The reason listed is.
I have to assume this is you. I'm going to read it for you folks.
Anything.
Problems with Shop Disney's weekend sales.
Yeah,
and I think specifically with the limits and fine prints. So what happened here? There's got to be a story behind this.
So you got 15% off of 75. You get 20% off of $100. You get 25% off $150, or 30% off of $200. All decent percentages. Yeah. Okay, fine. Plus free shipping on orders of 75 or more with the code CYBER. Okay, great, no problem. Okay, if I may. Not valid on purchases made at Disney parks and resort locations or Disney store merchandise purchased from other retailers or using third-party websites. Okay, great. Okay, qualifying threshold is based on pre-tax, post-discount amount. Got it. Okay. Offer excludes sales tax, shipping and handling, gift wrap, and gift box charges, personalization charges, Disney theme park tickets, Disney gift cards, the Walt Disney Company collectible shareholder certificate, subscription products, art and collectibles, books and media, electronic toys, limited edition, special edition, limited release merchandise, talking action figures, Mandalorian merchandise, items related to a charitable promotion, which I almost understand, items from the following brands and collections. This is where it got me, because what's left to sell after this? Not on Aiden and Anus.
Excuse me?
Right? That wasn't right. That wasn't right. So I'm reading this very quick. Not on Afro Shoes, Alex and Arnie, Barbie Signature Collection, Barefoot Dreams, Bauble Bar, Beats by Dre, which I didn't realize they sold, Buscemi, Betsy Johnson, Belova, Circle with Disney, Citizen Coach, ColourPop, Converse, Chris Lou, Cub Coats, Disney Designer Jewelry Collection, Disney Fairy Tale Wedding Rings, Disney Parks Designer Collection, Disney Vacation Club, Dooney and Burke, Enesco, Fantasy Flight Games, Finn and Emma, whatever the hell that is, Freshly Picked, Garmin, Hannah Anderson, Harvey's, Jim Shore, Kate Spade, Le Crusoe, Lego, Lennox, Levi's, Lil Baby, Lionel, Loungefly, Make-A-Wish, Magic Bands, Marvel Legends, Master of Arts, Mickey the True Original, Minnie Mouse the Main Attraction, Milk Snob, National Geographic, New Balance, Nike, Nixon, Olszewski, Opening Ceremony, Otterbox Electronics, Element Skateboard Decks, Pandora Jewelry, Pandora the World of Avatar Interactive Banshee Toys, Petunia Picklebottom, Pippa and Julie, Precious Moments, Rag and Bone, Rebecca Hook, Rock Love, Royal Salonga, ST DuPont, Sentiments, Shinola, Sideshow Collectibles, Galaxy's Edge merchandise, the Black Series from Star Wars, Starbucks, Stife, Thomas Kincaid, Tom's, Tommy Bahama, Vera Bradley, Vinylmation, and Waddle. And, by the way, if that wasn't enough, additional exclusions apply. So I ask you, listeners, what was on sale this weekend on Shop Disney?
So did anybody do any Cyber Monday Black Friday shopping on shopdisney.com?
No, I didn't.
I didn't even look.
Okay.
I didn't know where to begin at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think now's the perfect time to talk about my new Shop Disney scam that I'm running on currently. So oh, they don't listen, believe me. I ordered the walk-in Baby Yoda as a Christmas gift. It took about 3 months to ship. It finally freaking shipped. I think it was a pre-order more than anything. It shipped. They said it just delivered on my doorstep. It never showed up on my doorstep. I think FedEx stole it. Doesn't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I talked to somebody about 2 or 3 days later. They said, "Nope, it definitely came." I said, "It definitely did not. I was home all day. We're quarantined. I'm not going anywhere." So I said, "Okay, no problem. We'll send you a new one." So another 2 days go by, and my freaking neighbor brings over the package. So did I call Shop Disney? No. Should I? I mean, is that on me?
No.
That's not on me.
That's on them.
I mean, it's not on Disney, though. It's on FedEx and your neighbor.
But FedEx is the one who's liable. I don't
Disney wants their money. They go after FedEx, not me.
Sure.
My point is, let's just hope that Christmas will have a baby walker, baby Yoda walking around the house.
I mean, we can get you one of those.
It's called Carl Fredrickson. All right. Well, that escalated quickly. Let's move on to next one here. Number at the bottom of the page, 23. Well, Elf.
I snuck this one in. Amazing. Amazing.
Elf on the Shelf, folks.
Are they on shelves though, boys?
Or are they quarantined in the dog biscuit container?
Or mason jar?
So mine is quarantined in the mason jar for 5 days.
That's smart. So here's what happened. I used to not put them out until December 1st. Make it like a whole, advent calendar, December 1st thing.
Yep.
But then people start talking. The kids are kids, first grade. Right. Hey, where was your elf last night? What the hell are you talking about? My elf's not coming for 4 more days. Yeah. Although my elf came. So then it's like, shit, I have to put my elf out the day of Thanksgiving Eve night, whatever it is. And now it's there. And yes, Jordana, my elf was hiding in a dog biscuit jar. And now my dog wants to eat the elf because it smells like dog biscuit.
That's fair. I mean, that's Goomba's right.
But
you're
boy and girl don't stand a chance.
No.
Do not stand a chance with Goomba.
Up. You're a genius by telling your kids the elf had to quarantine because it came from the North Pole. Now, here's my question.
Okay, go ahead.
It goes back to the North Pole every night.
No. So, my kids don't listen. What Megan has done is she's printed a letter from Santa to send down. Because he can stay for the 5 days, and then once the 5 days are up, okay, he is okay to travel back and forth with his magic, powder, which in Oregon they call cocaine.
Mexico, it's meth.
Well, I mean, you've been watching too much Breaking Bad.
That's true. That is true.
But so he's going to get his letter of quarantine on the 5th day, which might be Friday or I don't know, Saturday, whatever day it is, saying that he is able to travel back and forth. So yeah.
And the poles are currently the only 2 places in the world with no COVID. That's a science fact.
That is a science fact.
Look at Jim. Look at Timmy dropping some knowledge.
Yep. If you're planning on going to the South Pole, plan on spending 14 days in Cape Town, South Africa, in a little white room before they let you there.
Anybody out there that wants to give us our 7th continent listening? So if anybody wants to go to Antarctica and have a listen, that will be we'll complete the Pitbull cycle of worldwide, and
that was a deep
we'll give
cut.
you a gift
that
card.
Was a deep cut right there.
We'll
that
give you a Shop Disney gift card.
So if you know any climate scientists, because I know their rotation is about to happen. So if you know any climate scientists who are heading down there for the summer rotation.
And you want a $25 Shop Disney
get
gift
them
card.
to record a listen to the podcast while they're down there.
Mr. Worldwide.
Why Tim knows the Antarctica police,
because
whatever the hell
before
he calls
I
it,
got
on
my current
rotation
job,
coming up.
When I first got out of the military, I was seriously looking into going down there to do radio networking stuff for like 18 months. It's like good money. At the time I wasn't engaged, wasn't married, so
sounds cold.
Yeah. It's very
cold. Drew, we once saw Pitbull.
We did live in person.
Yes, we did. No.
In Orlando,
Florida. At WrestleMania 30.
WrestleMania.
We don't have to talk about where. Just
that was the night that Drew lost his hearing.
Well,
from Pitbull.
When the Hardy Boys came out, and I almost killed him. That was great.
And I was like, "Who's that? Who's that?" Anyway, let's move on. Number 17. Let's see, dude.
This is a good one.
I'm going to throw this over to Tim.
All right.
Tim, does Disney do enough to recognize Walt himself in the parts? And does the average guest really give a shit?
No, not at all. And in Disney's eyes, probably. You don't go to Universal and see anything to do with the lineage of Universal. You don't go to Six Flags and see anything to do with the lineage of Six Flags.
Hey, I don't look for Mr. Six. That is a fact.
I don't think that's Mr. Six, the Walt Disney of Six Flags.
If someone from Six Flags is listening, you owe us a licensing fee for using that if you use it.
But no, I think they have a lot to do with Walt, and there is definitely a large amount of reverence and honor for Walt. Now, for people like myself and probably Bub, they probably should do more. But honestly, I think the average family who goes to Walt Disney World, especially as a once or twice in a lifetime trip, they don't give a shit about knowing that, this attraction, the animatronics were originally from Walt at the World's Fair, and they moved him here and they changed some stuff around. They don't care. So
what percentage of guests do you think not even know that Walt Disney is a person?
Oh, probably 5 to 10% even, if not higher.
Which is crazy.
I was actually going to put it at a healthy 12.
It probably is that high because there's literally people who don't know, like, there's regularly like celebrities that people have never heard of who are like active celebrities. So you're probably right that a guy who's been dead for
I'm going to Walt Disney
years.
World. People just hear that name and they're like, oh, it's a theme park, right? It's a place. They don't probably, a lot of people don't put two and two together or really care like the question states. Yeah. Jordana, what's your take on this?
This makes me sad. So I think going on the tours and being such a Disney enthusiast, like I love the history of it, but knowing that the people that only go to Disney once in a lifetime and just kind of go for the rides and parades and fireworks might not have the same appreciation that we do. So I don't know. I think, I have to agree with Bub with the healthy 12% right there.
Well, Bub, let's conclude the horn and go around it. What's your take on it?
I think that at one time they did do enough. I think at one time the one man's dream over at the studios was at the 100th anniversary, the 100 years of magic celebration they did. I think that they did it. And I think it got to a point where the people that wanted to see it saw it and no one cared anymore. And it was literally, for me, it's going to pain me to say this, it was a waste of space for them at that point. in terms of using it for what they were using it for. But for me, yeah, I mean, if you want Walt, go to the Walt Disney Family Museum out in San Francisco. That's probably the place to go if you want Walt, because not that he's dead in the parks. I hate to make this about that, but you're right. I mean, you don't see any Carl Lammel statues at Universal Studios. And I don't even know that anyone would know who Carl Lammel is if we asked them on the street. I would say it's higher than the 12%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great one there. Great little topic there. Good one.
I did not know
that was
Carl
number.
Lammel
What number?
was.
That was number 17. All right, moving on to number 11. Disney Springs bus service. Into their hours. Well, folks, yep. I don't know what it was before, but it's now 10 a.m. to midnight.
I think this is one of those that probably ties into number 10, so we'll have to take the random number eliminator and just talk 10 and 11 at the same time. Looking at it. So basically, they've extended the hours at the parks and at the Springs for the holiday season. I don't really have quote-unquote dates. It's kind of between now and New Year's Eve. You catch Magic Kingdom will be anywhere from 8 to 11 p.m. is when the Magic Kingdom will be open. It's not always at times. It's 8 to 9 or 8 to 10, but it will be at any point 8 to 11. Epcot will be open 9 to 9 at any point. Sometimes it's 9 to 7. Hollywood Studios is again 9 to 9 or 9 to 7. Animal Kingdom actually has the 7 or 8 o'clock to 5 to 8 o'clock. So they kind of get some extended. And then the Springs did get a 10 to 11 extended hours right now. So that the bus service runs an hour after that closes. So that's kind of how it all ties in there. Tim, Jordana, it's interesting because every report we've seen, and for Universal too, they had really good weekends in terms of their allotted people they were letting into the parks. They were at or near the reduced capacity numbers pretty much all weekend. Mm-hmm. Correct. And Universal, I haven't seen what their numbers are, but I think Universal's always been, I don't want to say higher, but I think Universal has always had a different number than Disney had
from the investor call
in terms
has now been bumped up, at least for Disney as well. So.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, but
right,
really,
but
mean, it's great if you're down there
really
between now and New Year's. You're going to get some extended hours in the parks, and even a 30% or 40% capacity, whatever it is better than most other times you've been in the last few years. So, I haven't been checking. I know. Yeah.
Now, have you guys seen ride weights recently? Anybody check those?
Which is still better than a lot of the places.
They're a lot longer than when Jordan and I were down there a couple months ago. Like 40
Correct.
minutes.
Right. So this is what you'd run into with the social distance queues, especially in a place.
Yeah, for sure. But with the social
Peter Pan's flight,
queuing, I guess the lines are everywhere.
If there's 35 people in line, then you're out into Liberty Square.
And even honestly, I saw it when we were down there. We saw it with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Like the line was literally going like everywhere in front of the Chinese.
Which is the damnedest thing, because that queue is deceptively large if they open the whole thing.
Right.
That queue is giant if they open the whole thing. So, but yeah, that's it. Just some random updates for park hours, Drew.
Yeah.
Good. You know what really bothered me is World Showcase opening at 11 o'clock. I'm never a fan of that. You go to the park early, a park open. It's like, well, especially in the last couple of years, it's like, what do you do for 2 hours? Anywho, that's my rant.
Future World, you go to the land and go on a boat ride.
Yeah, well, when you hate the boat ride and hate the land, there goes half of the park. Yep. All right. What was that? 22. 22. Better Classic Parks team. So this is pretty much Tim might just have to walk up and leave here. Who's better, folks? Figment and Dreamfinder, or the Country Bears? Jordana, actually, you know what, Tim? Have at it, buddy.
Yeah.
Country Bears.
I mean, I think it's very obvious here. Country Bears.
Jordana?
Dreamfinder.
Country Bears.
Close second, though.
I have to go.
I'm not going to be.
I think I'll be
all
right. Let me just say, I think I'll be fired from Travelmation because the owner and CEO is a very big Country Bears fan. So, yes.
Well, Bob, what's your
A man
take?
of
Before I
taste.
So let
give
the
my-
record show that I won't get fired by Travelmation for saying this. And I think the original version of Dreamfinder and Figment is the greatest theme park duo ever created. The Country Bears, though, believe it or not, despite my disdain for the show in general, they're great characters. They're a lot of fun, and it's a fun little attraction. I mean, it is what it is. But for me, when I was 8 and I went on Journey into Imagination, and it was Figment and Dreamfinder, it was wild. It was fun. And dare I say, the comics that came out a few years ago were pretty damn good, and we may have something coming up about those.
Ooh.
But yeah, Figment and Dreamfinder are the answer.
You and my brother are both big fans of Figment and Dreamfinder. I remember that. I personally don't get the obsession with Figment and Dreamfinder. I'm going Country Bears here.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting to say, one point I wanted to bring up was to Jordana's earlier take about Tiana Takeover. Could we see almost like a remake of maybe Louie and, find a little home in there, a little jazz music going on? Maybe, because I think it brings me to my point.
In the Imagination Pavilion?
No, in the
Country
Country
Bears.
Bears.
Oh, I was like, why the hell would they be in the Imagination Pavilion?
But to my next question for you guys, this is a follow-up. This is a 22 part A or B, whatever the hell you want to look at it.
Wasn't even on the paper. I like it.
Which do you think will be replaced first? Because I'm sad to say, I don't think either one of these has a long life left. I really don't.
Oh, its Imagination is replaced well before Country Bears.
Imagination's
Well,
days are
Country
numbered.
Bears.
I mean, I think if we hadn't had the
Yeah.
shutdown and the budget crisis, we would have already gotten the.
I mean, there's an outside chance that they're either lining up the Figment reimagination completely,
Yeah.
or they'll just go to like an Inside Out attraction.
That's
what they'll
my
do.
question.
Yeah.
What do you think's more likely? A reimagination of... See what I did there? Figment or directly new IP altogether?
Well, with Bob Chapek involved, I'm sure it'll be an IP.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it is the nature of the beast, and I don't want to say that an Inside Out attraction wouldn't be fun, because I think it would be a blast with Bing Bong and literally the entire cast of anger, disgust, panic, joy, and sadness. It'd be great. I mean, it literally is tailor-made for that pavilion. So,
This with all the changes that are going on in Epcot, do you think that they would put this first because there's already so much going on in Epcot? Maybe they'll put this off for a while and Country Bears might get replaced first.
Are you guys hearing the Country Bear set? I have not heard these Country Bears. To be honest with you,
I can't see it.
What's next? You guys tell me the Tiki Room can go. I think you're more likely to see. No, that's too obvious. That's cherry picking. But like the Jungle Cruise get its reimagining to the Rock movie when that comes out before you see a Country Bears change. I don't see the Country Bears going anywhere. To be honest with you, it's just such an easy show for them to do. It doesn't cost them anything.
The footprint is zero. The type of animatronics they're easy to maintain. Yeah.
Yep. I agree. It's a minimal reoccurring cost, right? And for them, that's what they want right now.
Yeah.
It's not even like other rides that need a lot of maintenance. It's literally, there's nothing really to it, right? It's just open space. I agree. So I agree with the budget situation right now. I can see the vision of not having anything changed to that now. And with Epcot reimagination, I could see something happening. But good. All right. Good convo. That was 22. Next is going to be number 18. And this is a long one. So, Bob, is this you? Let's tell me what you got here.
Holy crap. So apparently I had actually hit Surrey when I was talking to you guys about the Universal.
That's incredible.
So it picked up everything I said. I digress. Basically is what content that is missing from Disney Plus would you want to see come to the service?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, I don't know what happened in between.
Said I have a page text of something talking about Universal Studios and 12% and Carla Mel and
amazing.
Okay. So Disney Plus, folks, what I think this kind of sparked their interest, but me and you were talking earlier this week, and The Black Hole was recently added to Disney Plus, a movie that is an older film that's been very difficult to watch anywhere. Even get a DVD copy was difficult. So I think that kind of happened, and it kind of sparked their interest. Like, oh, any other old movies or movies that aren't there that we would like to see? Tim, anything that's on top of your mind?
Right off the top of my head, and I guess it wouldn't even be able to be on Disney Plus. Disney needs to figure out where to put it, though, is Logan. Like, the movie that is widely considered one of the best films of the last, 10 or 20 years. It's the adult Wolverine backstory prequel that's, R-rated. That's very, very good.
Huh.
It's not available for streaming anywhere because precisely this. Disney doesn't want to put it with the rest of the X-Men stuff since it's R-rated. And they also don't want to have the rights to it out there on another streaming service. So it just is in limbo, which is crazy.
Well, interesting. We may talk about
that a little bit later, but
a little bit later. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jordana, anything on your mind?
I don't know. Nothing that I can think of. I think they're missing some Disney Channel original movies. I can't really think of off the ones off the top of my head, but I think was the one with Tara Banks, Life Size. Is that one?
Is the one you picked out of all Disney
original
original
movies?
Thinking
of Disney Channel. I can't I don't know.
Listen, this is your opportunity to pick any movie.
Listen,
I get there's a lot out there.
Listen, I couldn't think of anything. You put me
picked on the Tara Banks original.
Is there a Puppy Dog Pal specialist on there? I mean.
Are all the seasons on there?
They're only up to season 2, so I know every single song from the first 2 seasons.
They only have 2 seasons.
They only have 2 seasons. They just started season 4, so I will give them that.
So they need season 3 on the service.
Yes.
There you
go.
So
let's put that on there. How about that?
Okay.
Bob, what's on your mind?
The Oswald shorts. I don't know what the licensing issue is, but I want the Oswald shorts on there, and I would really like the Alice comedies. That were actually predate Oswald a little bit from the 20s. That's what I would want on there. And I want an easier way to find the Silly Symphonies instead of searching for them by name. I want a Silly Symphonies channel so I can watch them all in order, not in order, whatever, but that's what I want.
I think that's key for a lot of things. The Pixar shorts we talked about last week, there was you had to search each one. You couldn't type in Pixar shorts. You couldn't do anything. You had to know the names of them.
I got to imagine that's on the way. They had their big content push, waves 1, 2, and 3. They've cleaned up a lot of the modernization stuff that other services have. I think we'll start seeing collections soon.
But I'll be honest, I still can't believe the service has only been around for a year. I feel like it's been so ingrained in my life that it's just there forever.
I agree with that.
I agree. I'm just going to say, because it's the obvious, and I think they've been doing a great job adding them as they can, and I'm double checking to make sure they're not there. But obviously, I did all of the Marvel movies and even the Star Wars movies. They're starting to slowly add them. But I believe the Spider-Man 2 movies, The Homecoming and Far From Home, are still not on there.
One of them definitely recently got added.
They may have rights with Netflix or wherever else they would be.
Yeah. I don't believe either of them are. Well, Far From Home's not. But my point is, they're getting there, and I get it's a licensing thing. But I think for Disney to lock in all those Marvel movies onto Disney Plus and Star Wars is a huge win for Disney. Where that means you want to watch any of these huge blockbuster films, you have to subscribe to Disney Plus. So that's where I'm going with that one there. All right, what number was that? Was that 18? All right, next number here, moving on to, is number 9. So number 9, Jordana, tell us a little about this one. The nightly fireworks are returning to Magic Kingdom for the holiday season.
So, yeah, they brought back some fireworks. They're short. They're not huge spectaculars like Happily Ever After or anything like that, but it brings a little bit of magic back to the parks. And just having the castle lit up and even the park opened at night, it's definitely, from what I've heard from people that have gone down there and clients that have gone down there, it brings a different type of magic back where it just feels like better.
What exactly are they? They're not doing any nighttime shows or anything like that. Are they just doing that at a certain time every night, just doing a couple fireworks for 10 minutes, 5 minutes? 1 minute.
Yeah, I think they're doing the projection show for like 5-10 minutes, whatever it is that's continuous, and then they shoot the fireworks kind of off the side of the castle type
And
thing.
they just don't want the people
I was
gathering.
just say, how are they preventing people from gathering? Just cast members saying
it's
move.
random, I think, or
okay.
is it?
Yeah, it might just be like a random like loop of it, just randomly playing through. I mean, that you don't necessarily.
But when you're walking over the frontier bridge there, and the fireworks just goes off, and you shit your pants, and you have no idea what was coming.
Yeah, so I'll run into the Emporium, grab a clean pair of shorts.
Would it be the first time? Sweatshirt.
That's correct. That was vomit though. That was different.
It's all the same. Comes from the body.
Better out than in. That's all we know.
All right. What was the hell number? Was number 9? All right. Next one here is number 13.
Oh boy.
Number 13.
This is from our good friend Michael Bancher, the Muppet expert.
Yeah, Tim, take us away on Michael Mancher's question.
All right. Another classic brief Michael Mancher question. We love you, Mike. We love your questions. Great discussion fodder. All right, live action remakes we're most looking forward to. Some of these won't see the light of day. Some will. Most will probably end up straight to Disney Plus. These are the ones that are currently in some phase of development, which could mean somebody in Burbank has the name written down on a piece of paper. But we have Cruella, The Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, Peter Pan and Wendy, Snow White, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Prince Charming, Robin Hood, Hercules, Bambi, Tink, Oliver Twist, James the Giant Peach, Lilo and Stitch, and Sword in the Stone.
That's quite a
that's quite a list. For me,
so why don't we do this? Why don't we pick like maybe two that sticks out for you?
I mean, for me, number 1 with a bullet, Hunchback. Really underrated by Disney. Seems forgotten by the company. Very, very good story, and definitely, I think the live action treatment would be good. Other than that, a Pinocchio, maybe. I'm just not super excited.
That's happening, right?
Yeah, that's
Pinocchio
like
kind of the
I
official.
think that one's like in production.
Yeah, Cruella, Little Mermaid, and Pinocchio are all in different stages of production.
Right. Like Cruella and Little Mermaid, I think are
COVID.
Like in editing, like gonna get released soonish.
How much more Little Mermaid do we really need? Don't get me wrong, great story.
And they try to do the sing along with Shaggy and all these.
Oh, and Stamos.
Yes.
Yeah, Stamos the chef. Yeah, no, I didn't like it, but I watched it. So
was Shaggy the Little Mermaid?
No,
because I would watch that.
Sebastian. He was Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah. No, he did the action. Well, not live action, but yeah, no, didn't love it.
So what do you love on this list here?
I'm excited for Cruella. I am. Who is it? Emma
Stone.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too, Jordana. Yep.
Here we go.
Who's going to play the 90s character, the best 90s character of all time? Roger is what I want to know.
Oh, character of the 90s right there.
What else you got there? What other ones jumping out at you off the paper?
Lilo and Stitch, I'd like to see how that would come out. I would like to see how...
I feel like that could be like a PG-13 would be good.
I think
so.
I want
if
that
you guys have seen Detective Pikachu,
yes.
Anyone seen Detective Pikachu? That's what I envision from Lilo and Stitch. That's what I envision Stitch to be like. Yeah,
that was better than I expected. That film. I was kind of shocked. Good one there. And speaking of Prince Charming's on that list, that kind of there you go, Mike Mancher. Same question there, buddy. Yeah. There's your answer for your last question you sent us. But what's jumping out at you?
Yeah, definitely the Hunchback. Tim's absolutely right about the Hunchback of Notre Dame not getting the love that it deserves. That movie is solid, and I got to tell you, even going back to Universal's with Lon Chaney, it lends itself well to film in a lot of ways. So I think that's going to be, if it's done right, and again, this is another one that could probably push PG-13, to be honest with you, if you tell the story correctly. Yeah, so excellent there. And I'm low-key, don't hate on this one, but I'm excited to see what they can do with a live-action Tink. Rumor has it that Reese Witherspoon might be attached to be a character, maybe Tink. We don't know yet. But I think that could be good. I think that Tink is one of those characters that is very utility for the company, and it's almost a license to print money. So
my problem with Tink is Tinkerbell. We talking about? Just want to be clear.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's her. Yeah.
She has the 2, maybe 3 animated films.
Yep.
Right, which I've seen. 1 or 2 of them are decent.
The first one's really good.
Yeah. So my point is, they have that lore, I guess you could call it, or story of her and where she came from. I get a live action is just a live action, but to me, I think those did justice for me on the Tinkerbell story.
But this isn't about like expanding the story. It's about a live action version of it. I mean, I don't think any of these movies are going to do anything different with the source material. I mean, it might.
Some of them might.
I see Tink much more as like what was the Angelina Jolie vehicle that there's 2 of them.
A Maleficent.
Yeah, much more like that, where it is an expansion of breaking this character out of its franchise and making it its own thing. Because as you said, Tinkerbell has taken on a life of its own in the parks. That whole idea.
And Prince Charming, it would be the same thing. I would assume
for sure.
I think Charming could be fun.
Can we all agree that there's enough live-action versions of Robin Hood that exist in this world?
And the King Arthur story.
Sword in the Stone was the other one I was going to say.
Come on.
Both of those, just who is going to greenlight these, especially with cash being tight right now?
Hercules, Robin Hood, and Sword in the Stone, you have no reason to remake any of the
three. Let's be honest here. Hercules is on my list because Hercules is a top 3 Disney film for me. I love Hercules. I love the story. Love everything about it. I'm not saying that,
but if they're going to do what they've done with all the other live actions and kind of, let's use Mulan as the example, which is on Disney Plus this Friday, I believe. If they take away the music and make it more of a Hercules movie starring The Rock, which we saw a couple years ago, I just don't care. If they're going to do it with Pegasus, with Phil, and it's going to be that, I'm on board. I absolutely agree with you. But if it's just going to be another Hercules movie, I just can't get up for that.
I was just going to say, is it
prime to come back? He's getting old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in his early 70s.
70s, probably. I mean,
every time I see him, he doesn't look good.
Joe Pesci doesn't look good.
Shouldn't be surprising.
Pesci's up there too. My other one, by no surprise, Peter Pan and Wendy. I want to know what the hell that means, and what. Obviously, I think that's a little bit different story than just Peter Pan. Is it really they're a first encounter of some sort of whatnot? So,
I think Snow White to the list of movies we don't need either.
Don't need it.
How many times we're gonna have Kristen Stewart in a movie?
I mean, I don't need any more, Hobbit-looking dwarfs either. Like it's, I feel like it shouldn't be the Hobbit.
But Bambi's got potential.
Yeah.
No. That's like the Lion King. No, it was a shot-for-shot remake.
It was. Lion King was, yes.
I mean, Bambi will look fabulous. I'm not going to take that away from you.
So that's pretty much all of them except for James and the Giant Peach and Oliver Twist. That's pretty much all of the movies.
I'm indifferent about James and the Giant Peach. I'd have to see a good trailer for that one.
Yeah. And Oliver Twist is whatever. I can't imagine it's going to be like Oliver and Company, so it'll just be Oliver Twist, and it'll lose all of its
Maybe it'd be like Lady and the Tramp type style, a little bit twist.
No, but I don't think that's the play. I think it's literally just an Oliver Twist, but instead of them being cats and dogs, just going to be Oliver Twist. I don't think it's going to be.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, but those are far away. So,
great question, Mike. As always, thank you, and keep them coming. Next one here, number 15. Cyber Monday is today, folks. Have we went out and got ourselves anything a little nice? I'll tell you what. Amy the other day, pre Black Friday, they have like Black Friday week. She bought a quesadilla maker, and I'm like, don't waste your money on that. Like, I'm the quesadilla guy. I make them. Like, I don't need a quesadilla maker. Let me tell you what I made for dinner tonight. I made quesadillas, and wow, what a steal for $15. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was different. It was easy, and it did what it was supposed to do correctly. So that was my Cyber Monday deal.
All you can ask for sometimes.
That's it. You can't be greedy. And if it's a $15 quesadilla maker, then you're going to be happy with that.
Yep.
Tim, did you pick up anything this week?
Yeah, I bought my mom's Christmas present, and I'll leave it at that because she sometimes listens.
Good. Let's keep it. Yes, we don't want to give it away. We want to give away the ending.
Jordana, you?
I bought a KitchenAid mixer from Target. They're usually like $450. I got it for $199. I am so excited. We've used
Damn
it
good price.
27 times in the last 3 days, just making random stuff, pizza dough, cookies, muffins, whatever we can throw in the mixer, we're doing because it's
Now, COVID has really been hurting the Disney guys because everything you make, like I would just be stopping by your house all the time. I'd get a beach sale, but
yeah, it's bad. I need to start giving it away.
you would have like a Drew drop box. Like
Yeah.
I put like it'd be like a drug deal. I put $5 in, I picked up my muffins
There you go. I got you.
or margaritas or whatever you might need. Bob, what about you this week?
Nope, nothing.
God bless you. Good.
I mean, well, I bought a new cell phone case because my cell phone case cracked. That's for me. I guess I got it for percentage off, whatever it was on.
It wasn't for anybody else. Let's be honest.
No, but no, nothing really crazy this year. I've done a lot of my shopping for my wife, and we've sent the requisite request to Santa Claus kind of early this year, kind of just spreading it out. So especially in this climate, it's kind of like you can kind of get deals on things all the time. So
Agreed.
we did not go crazy with Black Friday or Cyber Monday, as it were.
Now, how did you get those letters to Santa? Was that through the elf, through powder, some sort of
So
pixie dust?
we actually have a North Pole mailbox in our front yard that gets picked up. We don't know how. Magic every day.
Is it still
I was
there
just
after
gonna
today's
say.
storm?
It took a big hit this afternoon. It took a big hit, so it's still in one piece though. So
Stubborn
Wow.
me. The other day I have this sleigh with Santa and then a few reindeer, and I went out there. I kept falling over, so I went out there with a hammer and like these 12-inch spikes, and I said, Amy, that sucker has never fallen down, and I hammered them all in. So
Yeah.
of course today I'm like, here comes the test of time. So what happened? The bottom of the sleigh and the reindeers are intact, and like the whole top just twisted, and I think it's broken. But I'm just like, well, told you it wasn't coming down. That sucker stayed, but the whole top twisted. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Here it is, folks. The moment we've been waiting for. Bob, this is your moment. Tell us about, are you buying or are you selling? Number 24.
Oh, love it. Buy or sell time. Buy or sell time. All right. So let's go around the horn, as it were. We'll start with Jordana, go to Drew, then Tim. Buying or selling Black Widow to Disney Plus via Premier Access by Easter?
Sell. Not happening.
So, no, thank you. No interest.
Is it interest or do you think it's
Oh,
happening?
no, it's not happening. There's no way. The vaccine is on the way.
Right.
There's 3 movies we will not see go to streaming: Black Widow, James Bond, and
It's because James Bond wants an obscene amount of money for their license.
it's Black Widow, James Bond. And I cannot remember what the third one was. I was just having this conversation. But those 2 for sure we won't see on Premier Access, especially now with the vaccine on the way.
March 12th. Put that on the calendar. Black Widow.
March.
Bank it.
All right.
I'm buying. I'm buying as well. It
Buying.
is
March
there
12th.
Before the end of March, 100%. Because they're just buying. All right. Buying or selling an R-rated channel coming to Disney Plus at some point by the summer. Jordana.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Tim.
Sell. We know for a fact this literally just happened in India with Hotstar, and it won't happen here until the Comcast deal clears for Disney to get the rest of Hulu. Then they will be able to make Hulu into what they just did in their Asian markets, which is
Drew.
Sell. This will
You guys are all
never.
wrong. I'm buying.
This
all
will never
in.
happen.
You're
This
all
will never
in.
happen on
I'm
Disney
all in.
Plus.
I'm buying it
happened.
all. I'm buying it all.
Nope.
I'm loose with my money. Buying or selling Splash Mountain overhaul to be completed by June of 2022. Jordana.
That's a push. I'm going to sell it just because I think with COVID and everything, I don't think it's going to happen by that soon.
Okay. Tim.
buy.
Drew.
Sell. 2020.
2022. It's a full
2021.
year and a half.
21 though. It's already almost 2021.
It's a year. It's 18 months.
Tomorrow
Buy-
just got in
buy
front
that.
of their most
Buy that.
important trade
Sell
group
it.
and said we're expediting specifically this.
Buy it.
Yeah.
Buying.
I'm buying. I'm buying Splash Mountain being done by June 2022.
It's me and Margarita when it's not done.
If we're still doing the show,
Who's
absolutely.
taking notes on this?
Buying or selling Tron Light Cycle by December of 2021. Jordana.
That one I'm gonna buy. I think it could be done.
Okay. Tim?
Easy buy.
Yeah,
Drew?
I'm on board. Easy buy there as well.
Sell. They're nowhere near ready to have that ride open.
They're putting the
Nope.
It's done. The track is
It
done.
is done.
I
Yeah.
don't believe it. I don't believe it. You would have heard it already. Not happening.
They have bees.
It'll be the first quarter of 2022. They're good. 100%.
That's a late push. That's a missed mark for Disney if they don't hit that date.
100%. 100%. Guardians Cosmic Rewind by March 2022.
I'm gonna
Jordana.
say sell. Just don't see it happening.
Okay. Tim.
Whew, this is like a push. I'm a very hesitant buyer.
That's an easy buy. They just took pictures. They have the outside already painted, up and going. There's no way they're painting shit on the outside of that building if it's not up within a year.
Were those
That's
black?
an easy buy.
Were those interior shots from it or from the Imagineering that were in
Say
that
that
same
again?
press release?
I believe those were from the inside of the building.
Okay, yeah, then definitely buy.
The shots that we posted.
Definitely buying.
That's a buy.
I am
yeah, that
buying.
was from Disney.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
buying by March 2022. Universal Epic Universe by the end of 2026.
I'm gonna buy this. They got 6 years to get their shit together. Figure it out. Tim?
That's a tough one.
This is an easy sell for me.
Hey, I didn't say it had to be 100% complete. It's going to be open. Doesn't mean that the entire park will be functional. The gates have to be open accepting guests by the end of 2026.
I want to say buy, but at the same time, if this whole project just got canceled, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm selling Universal having that park open in 6 years. Absolutely. Selling that. Disneyland reopens by July of 2021. Buying or selling, Jordana?
I'm buying it. I think that
That's out of a hat.
What?
Did you just pull that date out of a hat? That one?
No, July 2021. 4th of July is a good time for them to get open if things work out.
yeah.
I think that's a good number to have. Jordana,
I
you
think
buying?
It would be their anniversary, wouldn't it? Like, because July.
It will be
I would-
July 17th.
Yeah.
There you go. There's what I was looking for.
I'm gonna buy this because I think that hopefully we'll have a vaccine before then and everything will be back to normal. I'm hopeful. So we'll see.
Tim?
I'm a buyer.
I'll buy. I mean, this has nothing to do with Disney. Disney's ready to open tomorrow if they're allowed to.
Correct.
So I'm a buy.
I'm a cautious buy, provided that everything works out. I think you probably see it Memorial Day-ish if they get everything under control. Right, but California, who knows? They keep shutting things down. Nothing wrong with that.
They
but
also keep
just stay-
spiking like out of control.
Correct. So who knows? Here's a good one. Disney Plus price hike to $9.99 or more per month by the end of June of 2021.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, no, they're definitely due for a price hike. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it. $9.99 is pretty standard for all streaming services, I feel like too. So yeah, no, I'll see it. I'll buy it. Tim?
I'm buying it. If you'd asked me before this season of The Mandalorian, but with how it's going and how popular and the cultural zeitgeist of it, yeah, I'm buying it.
Easy sell for me. That's not happening. That's in 6 months from now. They're not doing any price hops yet. Not yet.
I'm buying because, again, I'm telling you, we're getting an R-rated channel. We're getting Black Widow. I'm telling you, it'll be $9.99 by summer. 100%. Buy, baby.
There will be tiers. Mark my words. Like Netflix has, send me a DVD to the house. There will be tiers. If you want the R-rated channel, maybe it's $9.99. There will always be a $6.99 feature for Disney Plus.
That's fair.
Like
So here's my favorite one because I think it's the most. Who the hell knows what's going to happen if you listen to any of these? Bob Chapek tenure. He lasts through the end of 2024.
I'll buy it. I got hope in him. I got
Hope.
I got hope.
Tim does not have hope.
Nope.
Tim hopes it's the end of 2020, end of 2020 that he's.
I don't give a shit about what the guy does or not. I'm just saying sell. I mean, CEOs are like presidents. He is going to have to weather the pandemic, a recession, and the recovery. Doesn't matter how good he does. The guy is not well liked by his public, so he's an easy scapegoat to get rid of to make up for the deficits that Disney's going to post over the next couple of years. And you either bring back somebody to the company or maybe pipe dream push tomorrow up there. Drew?
I'm buying this. I think he's in it for the long haul. Simple as that.
I'm on the fence here, and I know this was my game. I'm on the fence. I think that's a really good time frame that would give him 5.5 years or so to run the company into the ground or to elevate it like Bob Iger did. So I'm going to go buy. He makes it through the end of 2024, but not much longer after that, in my opinion. That is buy or sell. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun.
That was a good one there. Thanks, Bob. Number 6, the International Festival of the Holidays. Folks, stay tuned because we're going to talk a lot about this in the coming weeks. A little holiday cheer going on in the Disney Guys Uncensored theming that we always do. But I wanted to highlight some nice fun recipes that I think we could all enjoy, especially you, Jordana. The first one is a spiced rum eggnog for those type of people that love eggnog. Tim, are you an eggnog kind of guy?
No, not at all.
Jordana, no. Okay, well, let's move on then.
No,
How about a nice white Christmas IPA, Tim?
That's right my alley.
Now it's actually a U.S. brewing company, MIA beer company. So that does sound quite delicious to me. It's actually a very popular beer, not just in Disney parks, all over the country. Bob, here's one for you: a frozen s'mores.
Yeah, I'm all in, baby. Locked in.
You can get it with vodka. I actually hear it's better without the vodka.
That makes
it's just
sense.
different texture, obviously, in the alcohol, I think. But Jordana, you can whatever you want. Now, here's one for me, folks. I love myself a good poutine. And what's better than a turkey poutine to celebrate a little Thanksgiving with the fries, turkey gravy, a cranberry relish, and crispy onions. Mm.
That doesn't even sound that bad. I don't need any of that.
So, folks, that is just a small highlight I wanted to talk about. Like I said, in the coming weeks, we'll be talking a little bit more about the International Festival of the Holidays. And if you don't know, high level, it's essentially just Epcot's way of saying, let's have some really good things to eat and drink and walk around the world. Just like what they do best. Some will say. Some will say they display their countries well. I say they entertain good food and drink. Moving on. Number 19 on the list. What is this one here?
It's a pretty easy one.
Pretty easy. Where do you go for a night out, folks? World Showcase, Disney Springs, or the Boardwalk? And I'll tell you right now, I think each one of those caters towards what type of evening do I want to have, and how do I want to feel the next morning when I wake up?
Yep.
Jordana, where is your choice here of going out for the night? Maybe just you and the husband, have maybe dinner, cocktail or two.
I'm going to Disney Springs, and specifically, I'm going to go to the Edison. They have those
the bacon.
No, have you tried the hallucination fairy shots? Those will put you on your ass.
Yes,
anyway, I'm done.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you already knew they put you on your ass. But
because absinthe is like 126 proof.
Tim, where are you going?
Springs all the way. Edison, Jacques Lindsay's.
See you there.
Yeah, all the way.
Now, though that is fun, Bob, where are you going?
I mean, there's only one answer.
There is one answer here. Then they're both
There's
wrong.
only one answer, and it is Jelly Rolls at the Boardwalk. If that's the kind, I mean, again, it's the kind of night I want to have. Popcorn, cheap drinks, good entertainment, all in one place. Nothing wrong with the Edison or Jock Lindsay's, like Tim pointed out. And there's plenty to do in any of these places. But for me, it's got to be the Boardwalk. I just love the ambiance of the Boardwalk. You walk around. It's very low key. Yep. And you know what it is? It's usually significantly less crowded than Disney Springs.
Killed it.
So I like to, you get a little more space, and normally Jelly Rolls is packed, so you can get a good vibe with the crowd there. When you walk around it, you're not bumper to bumper, elbow to elbow. So I'm going boardwalk here.
Bob, I absolutely you nailed it. For all those couples out there, you want to treat your husband or wife to a lovely evening. Here's what you do: you make a nice 6 o'clock reservation at the Flying Fish. Yep. You have a nice 2-hour dinner, have some cocktails, some appetizers. After that, you go for a nice little hand-hold and walk on the boardwalk, look over the nice water there. And then you go to Jelly Rolls, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Yep. You sit in there maybe to have some cocktails.
Go to the dance hall.
And that's it, Bob. Around midnight, you're gonna wander out. You're gonna little maybe stumble out of there.
You're gonna
head over to the Atlantic Dance Hall, and you're gonna get your groove on. And let me tell you, we talked to. There's some dicey stuff going on in there, folks, but it is a blast. And Jordana, I hope that's what you do coming up. I don't know if that place will all be open. But if you did, that's going to be a fun time for you. And the Bob said it's a little bit less crowded.
I'll tell you the nice thing about it is you have so many options at all three of these places to eat. But the nice thing about the boardwalk is its location. You can go to the Yacht and Beach Club, go to Yachtsman Steakhouse. You can go over to the back door of Epcot if you want to cheat here and go to one of the French restaurants, something like that. Or you can go down to the Swan and Dolphin. It's a boat ride away, and you can go to Shula's if you really. So there's so many options for you to kind of utilize the modes of transportation and a nice walk out. It's a really fun place. Big fan of the boardwalk.
And there's nothing wrong with the World Showcase. I just look at that more of a day drinking, right, Jordana? That's more of a enjoy the hot sun and enjoy the people watching. You want to have the people watching while you sit down. At nighttime, it's a little harder to people watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to number two. Number two, Jordana, tell us something happened this week. The Disney Skyliner. What happened?
Broke down again. What do you mean? So it is what it is with the Skyliner. Nothing surprises me when it comes to the Skyliner and it continuously breaking down. It's like the doors falling off the monorail. It happens. It's just it's an imperfect system, and there's kinks that happen, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, so what happened was I think people got stuck for roughly 30 minutes or so, and they must have learned from their lesson last time. It is now hooked up to a generator, so they get the generator running, and they could get the people off within the half hour. But I mean, what do you tell people here? You look at Pop Century, which is such a big now selling point for people to stay there, that they have access to the Skyliner. A lot of people do have the claustrophobic, and you're entering this small little cabin now with COVID, I'm assuming they're only letting in families or parties, right?
So you're only the same party that you went with, so that makes it a little bit easier. If it's a party of 3, you're not squished in there with 8 strangers.
But I think what I'm getting at is, the monorail is a little bit more open. I feel like a little bit more sturdy. It's almost a train type feeling where you're now getting crammed into this space, and people have that uneasiness, right? Where they want to feel safe at a Disney park. And this is starting to become a little bit of a, unreliable system. I mean, I hate to say that,
but
you
guys are crushing it. I don't think it's been that
I love it.
I think with any bit of transportation, you run into a problem of working kinks out. I don't think it's been as bad as advertised. I think, again, obviously, it's very hard for me to say with the amount of people that go to Disney, it's doing very well because it's obviously not as crowded as it has been in the past. But I just think that, it's still fairly new to them to operate one of these. It's only been a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it's been. I don't know that it's been as problematic. Obviously, when you hear about the problems, it's like, oh, holy shit, it did it again. But I don't know that it's been a habitual problem for this system yet. I mean, and I think all the transportation, except for the bus lines, which usually seem to be pretty reliable. I mean, obviously the monorail has its problems. The monorail's 50 years old. So, I mean, when are we getting new trains?
We're not.
Ever.
All right, let's move on here. The next one here is number 4. Disney Holidays playlist, folks. It's pretty straightforward. If you were a fan, I know I personally was, Disney came out with a certified, or whatever you want to call it, Halloween playlist back in the day, right? It was on YouTube Music, Spotify, pretty much everywhere that you have those playlists. They now came out with a Disney Holidays playlist, and it has quite the playlist, a total of 79 songs. And yes, Tim, Let It Go from Frozen is on there. I know you were looking for that one. It's a fun one. I have it on my... It is. It has, some Danny Elfman stuff from Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm looking at it now. It has some, let's see.
Imagination Movers are on there. Give a gift.
Look at that. That's incredible. That's right. We'll have to reach out to good buddies there and see what they have to say. Santa Claus Coming to Town sung by Mickey Mouse.
Little Muppet Christmas Carol.
We'll be talking about that a lot. Yep. Thankful Heart there. Jolly to the Core, Bub. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm going to listen to that. So it's just a fun little playlist. It's definitely one, Deck the Halls from Mickey. Put it on, listen to it with the kids, or even just around the house, you're wrapping presents and stuff. It's a good playlist. It's like I said, it's quite long.
Six separate tracks from the Phineas and Ferb Christmas album. Did you know there was a Phineas and Ferb Christmas album?
Yeah. Sure, it's decent though.
Six tracks made it onto this thing.
Hey, listen, you could listen to Ariel, Belle, and Cinderella sing the 12 Days of Christmas if that's your thing. Who knows?
I gotta say, the Olaf song, That Time of Year, from for the Frozen Christmas special, is literally one of my new favorite songs. I love it. I think it's so cute to listen to.
Tim, here's one for you: Santa Baby, sung by Miss Piggy herself.
Literally.
Oh, Bob. It's this is a fun one. So check out that playlist. It's called, if you're looking for it, the Disney Holidays playlist. If you search that, you should be able to find it. That was number 4. Next is number 21 on our list. Bob, what do we have this one?
That's a big one. I think we've talked about this in the past, but I want to kind of change the rules on it a little bit because I think we kind of got away with cheapening out on the deal that we made with Universal Studios. So, which IP or portfolio asset are you willing to trade to get Marvel in the parks with no limitations? And it needs to be somewhat of comparable value. I know it's going to be very hard to put a price tag on Marvel. For this exercise, let's say it's $1 billion franchise to get them into the parks. You need to come up with something that is in that ballpark, whether it's $750 million or so. Just come up with something you think is a comparable value to Marvel for Universal to give up the rights. Well, don't all speak at once.
To trade. So we have to trade something.
Right.
Yes.
I'm trying to put together a couple things to get the deal. But I think you really have to dip into the newly acquired Fox catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I think you start with Alien and all the future stuff that goes with it. And I think this is going to be crazy, but I think you kind of are wading into the same territory, but you retain the Avatar theme park rights. And in fact, you can't even build anything new, but you give Universal the Avatar sequels that are upcoming.
Maybe they're upcoming. Who
exactly.
knows?
Well, so that's it. Like, I'm pretty sure James Cameron has also been attached to some of the Alien stuff that's supposed to be happening with Prometheus. So you just kind of package up James Cameron, notoriously difficult to work with, and make him Universal's problem, and to in exchange get the Marvel stuff and give some franchises that much more fit with the Universal vibe and ethos to them. That's my take on it.
It's a good one. Jordana, you have any take?
I'm having trouble finding something that's of equal value because I was going to say dinosaur, like that whole dinosaur.
Stop that.
Just giving up, but that's the things, like giving up things that are on the bottom tier. But
I'll let you think about it more. So I'm willing to give up 2 assets. for Marvel, and I'm gonna go ahead and give up the Muppets because the Muppets they just failed at. I think they. Don't get me wrong, Muppet 3D Vision is a fun attraction, but they're never doing anything with it. Let's be honest. And I'm also going to. This hurts to say it, but I feel like the IP is dying, and I feel like it fits better in Universal than it does in Disney. I'm giving up Indiana Jones as well, if that helped me obtain Marvel. I love doing Indiana Jones stuff, but the IP is kind of dying, right? I mean,
the problem is that you own Lucasfilm, so would you be including the Star Wars license in Lucasfilm?
This is just a license of Indiana Jones franchise.
So they're still going to pay you for the license so you're really screwing them.
Yeah, well, they did have the Muppets.
So you're just going to sell them Indiana Jones and say, "Fuck it."
You can build if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed to be making new movies of those too, though?
They already have the Mummy, though. I feel like this is a very similar franchise.
Oh, the Muppets. The Muppets. Get rid of the Muppets. Have them. Get rid of them. Shit, keep the Simpsons too while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Drew, it's funny you say that. I am giving them ESPN and all of the rights to all the sports because I'm giving them ESPN and I am giving them The Simpsons. Take The Simpsons, take all 28 seasons off of Disney Plus, put it on Peacock or whatever the hell Universal streaming service is. You already have the ride there. They're never doing anything with The Simpsons, and ESPN just drains money. Thanks for Around the Horn, but they just ESPN. So I don't know if the antitrust lawyers with NBC Sports and ESPN they'd really allow that to happen. But in this fantasy world, I'm going ESPN and The Simpsons for my Marvel rights to the park.
I'll also sneak in. Maybe they can slide in like a Scooby-Doo or Minions franchise to us. I'll take that as well.
They're not gonna give
maybe
them
that Minions. All right, I'll take Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Julian, any last takes, or you want to move on?
Move on.
All right. That was number 21. Number 3, folks. Super Nintendo World. This will be a quick one, folks. This was recently announced by Japan that February 4th, a part will be open. This again is part of Universal Studios in Japan. They had to really crunch down this date. This was really the goal was to get this open prior to the Olympics being done, which was supposed to be last summer. Who knows what's going to happen now? But this part's open and they don't care. They're going forward. February 4th. We posted some pictures of the Mario Kart ride that takes place in Bowser's Castle. I am obviously, as you guys know, a huge Nintendo nerd and fan, but it's funny that they call this Nintendo World where it really is just Mario World itself. There's not really any other integration of the other major franchises that they own, which leads you to believe, will there be expansions in the future? Who knows? But you look at a game like Animal Crossing that is so popular lately, and Zelda franchise, and I could go on and on. But Super Nintendo World opens in Japan at Universal Studios February 4th. And if you didn't know, they are coming to the United States. I think we talked about it a while back, but I forget the dates. But it will be coming eventually to both California and supposedly.
Well, it's one of the major parts of Epic Universe. So who knows? California, correct. Mario, they're getting Mario Kart only, and that is well underway.
Well, that whole park is interesting to say the least. Universal Studios in California. It's there's only a few attractions and it's really weird layout and limited space.
It's like there's a giant escalator.
Yeah, it's like on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
It's like 5 or 6 attractions and that's it. So all right, anywho, let's move on because we are not the Universal podcast tonight, at least. Number 8 here. Tim, tell us about what's going on. Unfortunately, some more sad news.
With some financial filings, we saw that the layoff number had been bumped up from 28,000 to over 30,000 to 4,000 more layoffs. So more cast members going. Bad situation. Thoughts with them and solidarity.
Absolutely. Next one here, number 14. Bob, what happened to McDonald's? Tell the world.
I don't even know what happened. All I know is that I got a Beyblade in my Happy Meal, and I'm pissed about it.
What you did? I got a Hello Kitty.
I
Something.
got a Beyblade, and then we got the one of the Minion toys that they did. We got the little Gru.
Supposedly they're back. They're kind of filtering their way back in.
Yeah, but Tim, the hype is dead. The hype of me collecting them all are now dead. Yep. I don't even want them.
All because the QR code was taking you to some illicit porn site.
Apparently they're just taking you to random websites. So the reason these things were recalled was there was a QR code on a card in the package of the toy, which was confusing to begin with because it had an end date for the contest that was months ago. So there was
a sticker on the
box that explained to you that the contest was still going on. And also, most phones nowadays, you could just scan a QR code with the browser or the camera, and it does what it's supposed to. But these QR codes were only supposed to be scanned on the McDonald's website or with the McDonald's app. So if your phone just scanned it, it just took you to a random website that was the end result of that QR code for the internet at large. And I guess some of those websites were not what you would want scanning for a Disney toy from a Happy Meal. So that's it. The ones that are coming back don't have the QR code in them. So what happens to the contest entries that have already happened? Is it a much smaller pool to win some of those great prizes? Who knows? But McDonald's toys apparently are making their way back this week. But you're right. It seems like the hype is dead. People were very, very excited about them, and now I'm not hearing about it as much anymore.
Exactly.
Until one of us goes to McDonald's and gets one.
Absolutely.
Then we'll all be at McDonald's that day.
Yeah. Gymnastics class is postponed because of COVID, so there goes my Tuesday night Happy Meals.
You are, 2-week shutdown, baby.
2-week shutdown.
Pause. 2-week pause. Sorry.
Pause. Well, you can't pause everything, folks. Not Happy Meal toys. Number 12. Hong Kong Disneyland will be closing again. December 2nd, they had another rise in, I think it's their 4th wave of COVID, they're calling it. So that park will be closing December 2nd, unfortunately. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Put it in perspective, Hong Kong has been extremely strict with COVID. These spikes have been 12 to 50 cases. They are shutting the entire country down. As we complained about our 2-week pause for 100,000 daily cases.
It said 75. Yeah, because they go on the street, they get arrested. Here, they don't. Whatever. Anyways, different topic, different day. But Netflix. We have a little
check-in,
baby. What do you got here?
I feel like we've become a Netflix podcast here the last few weeks. I've spent so much time watching Netflix with the boys. I got to tell you, we watched the Christmas Chronicles, 1 and 2. I highly recommend them. Love them. Very enjoyable. And again, I can't say enough good things about Alien TV.
I watched it.
Amazing.
You didn't tell me they don't talk.
Yeah, no, they do talk.
No, not really. They don't talk.
They babble.
They don't talk English.
That's true.
That.
That's true. But they do at the end when they have to explain
minions.
What happened. It's fantastic.
They're like Minions, and then there's like a 30-second recap at the end of what they just happened.
It's great.
It's funny.
So what do you think of Alien TV?
Kids loved it.
Yeah, it's out of control. The Christmas Chronicles of Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, Christmas Chronicles, really well done. I enjoyed them both. I think the first one's better than the second one, but they're both very good. And I'm looking forward to watching Jingle Jangle later this week, which also looks very good. So,
well, folks, as we wrap up Around the Horn, what better way to ask the evolving question of the evolution of time? What is the better Phil Collins Disney soundtrack? Brother Bear or Tarzan? And I have a good explanation. Give me the straight answer, and you know the right answer. Jordana?
Tarzan.
Tim, I know your answer.
Tarzan.
Bob?
Brother Bear.
Yes!
Brother Bear.
Brother Bear is by far, because if you guys remembered, we played a Brothers Bear Phil Collins song, your first episode ever on the Disney Nights Uncensored, when we played Welcome, when we welcomed you to the show.
I do remember that. Aw, that was cute.
You know what?
No, they're both good soundtracks, Drew. That's the thing. They're both really well done. But Brother Bear is just it's
catchy.
It's just, I think it's just a better overall representation of Phil Collins.
And you know what it is? I think that Brother Bear is, I don't want to say under the radar, because again, it's not this.
The movie's not very good. The movie's okay.
But a lot of people don't even know about it. So I think they missed out on the soundtrack.
They kind of blew a really good Phil Collins soundtrack on a mediocre movie.
Yeah, the movie's suspect at best.
Phil Collins is struggling, by the way. I saw some. He made it to
the
the
fourth
media
guy
the
we've
other
referenced today that are not doing well. Our thoughts and prayers to Joe Pesci, Phil Collins, and who was the other one we
Danny
were
DeVito.
concerned about? Danny DeVito. Very concerned about Danny DeVito as well. So,
all right, folks, that
from
was
the Disney guys Uncensored to you.
Yes, that was Around the Horn Disney style. Hope we had fun. This was a blast. I think this is opportunity to do more of these in the future. Besides the point of us trying to strap together these fun topics.